Well, they just made us do it, folks. They just made us. The Marvels. We had reports out there that it was only costing $130 million total. And great laughter began to ring out in the halls of that Park Place in the WDW Pro studio. It cost way, way more. And now the media is out there and they're touting a new number. They're telling you exactly how much it's going to cost. And they say, oh my gosh, The Marvels is one of the most expensive MCU films ever made. Well, we're here to tell you, we've looked into it. It costs more than they know. Jonas J. Campbell back again and ready to help us navigate the exact cost of The Marvels. Jonas, welcome back to the channel.
Okie dokie Loki. Yep, good to be here this morning.
We're not talking about Loki today. It's an ad on the side of the article here on IGN that we'll be reading from. This one, Alex Stedman. Folks, we endeavor to explain entertainment. We keep you ahead of the culture curve. It's what we do each and every day, and we love our job. We try to be really good at it. And today we're going to give you some information that I think is not readily available across these interwebs and this newfangled dangled thing called the internet. All right, here's what we've got from IGN once again. The Marvel's budget has reportedly been revealed, and it's more than what originally circulated. Oh, I can't believe it. I can't believe it, Jonas. A recent Vanity Fair profile said it cost about $130 million.
Oh, man.
Jonas, before we even start, what was our reaction? Folks out there, they may not know. We have the ability to communicate with a large number of people who cover the entertainment industry. We have some back channels where we do all this. And what was our overall reaction when we heard this number?
Absolutely not. 130 million. That's how much it cost to make Barbie, and Barbie wasn't a CGI fest.
Barbie has a normal budget. This is not a normal budget.
You got 120 million all in before you even make Carol Danvers start to glow.
Oh, it's so funny. I think the exact word that was used was something along the lines of "blah ha ha ha." That was literally what was typed into the back channels. All right, here's what we've got though. We now seemingly have the actual budget for Disney's The Marvels. Hint, folks, they don't. And we're going to show it to you, and you're not going to believe it. Contradicting some earlier reports that it had at the low end for an MCU movie. Forbes reports today, per financial documents from Disney, the company spent $274.8 million on The Marvels, also banking a hefty $55 million subsidy from the UK government, bringing its total spend to $219. As the report notes, it'll have to make approximately $439.6 million at the global box office to break even, as theaters take roughly half of the revenue from the studios.
That's interesting.
Well, close IGN. The theaters plus taxes take half the revenue from the studios. But I do find this interesting, Jonas, that the websites out there are now taking the Valiant Renegade formula, and I think Valiant Renegade has actually changed the way that articles such as this cover the finances of Hollywood now.
Right, they're close. Well, it's like they're of course missing a couple steps in order to have the true article here. They've got
we'll help them. Don't worry.
They've got the list of ingredients, but they've skipped a couple of steps here.
Yeah, we'll help them. And folks, we're going to bring the documents to you. Hang tight. We promise we'll bring the goods. We always do. So, Jonas, we've added this up, though. We think that it's $273 million, which is really, really close. So not a substantial difference there once we added the numbers together. And
yeah, with FX fluctuation, that could be,
absolutely
completely understandable.
Jonas, can you tell us why that we think that they missed the original number, what Vanity Fair did incorrectly to get that 130?
I can't speak to how exactly Vanity Fair made that assumption. Now we have the documents that they're referencing here.
I've got to let me give you my hypothesis, Jonas, and then you knock it out of the park for us, okay? I think Vanity Fair looked at the budget for either 2021 or 2022, and without looking at the other years, and then applied the exchange rate to that.
Yeah, maybe, or we can. I mean, I don't even think the original Captain Marvel was less than 130. I'm pretty sure it was. Even the publicly available figures for Captain Marvel were above 130 for that proposed budget.
Well, so, the reason I bring that up, Jonas, is because it's the same error that IGN and these other articles, including Forbes, are making now. is that now they're only looking at 2 years. We'll talk about that in just a moment.
Well, the budget for the original was $160 million, according to Box Office Mojo. Now, that is highly suspect. That film looks like it was tinkered with a lot. It's very non-linear, which we all know how Marvel handles their productions. So the idea that this movie made more than $1 billion and that they would reduce the budgets with inflation by adding 2 other stars and also Marvel's inflation plus the rising stakes there at Marvel Studios. The idea that it went down by $30 million in that period of time is patently ridiculous, even before you account for the fact that we know what the figures are on the Marvels so far.
In all fairness, though, there are many people out there who report on entertainment who they don't pay any attention to the financial side of this, and so they can say things that are very wonky and weird and definitely do not portray themselves as knowing much about this side of things. And you've got to give some grace there because, when my electrician comes over, I fully admit I don't understand anything to do with electricity. I don't understand the difference in voltage and amperage and watts and all that. I don't get it. I don't understand the gauge of wire and how much it can carry. And so I'm an idiot when I talk about those sorts of things with my electrician. And I just go ahead and say it up front. I'm an idiot. I also, though, don't write articles about, electrical work because of that reason. I know better. Jonas, here's the original document. This is where we get the actual numbers from. Warbird Productions 2 UK Limited is the name of the production company in the UK that is producing Captain Marvel 2, also known as The Marvels. And we do have 2 years of cost of sales here. We got $118 million in 2022, and in 2021 they spent $103 million. Jonas, what number does that give us?
That gives us about 221. And by the way, for those of you looking at this document wondering how it's so low, there's a little mark under the 2022 and under the 2021. That is not dollars. That is Great British pounds.
Which means, Jonas, when we convert it, what do we get?
Well, basing off of today's GBP rate, we get 273, basically. 272.773, however far you want to extend it out, but $273 million.
Don't you pull a Leroy Jenkins on me right now, Jonas. Don't you do it. Now Leroy, tell us. That's right. Well played. On the on this file, this document here, when does the cost reporting end?
September of last year. So 1 year ago.
Why is that important, Jonas, when we are actually trying to figure out the real cost? Now, notice, folks, before we say this, notice they came out with one report. I presume that they looked at 1 year, and that was where they made the mistake. Now, all the rest of the media is out there correcting that. Okay, so you've got IGN, you've got these other articles. There's a ton of articles correcting this. Forbes, of course, the lead on it. They're all out there correcting it. No, that's wrong. Here's the actual number. And they're all kind of, doing a little dance. We got it. We figured it out. Look at us. We can add. Folks, they're all in the same exact camp. Jonas, tell us why.
Because this movie has obviously been reshot since then. Marvel is not known for putting together a movie and then letting it sit. They are in a continuously tweaking process when it comes to these things, and it costs them tens of millions of dollars every time they do it. We know from the way that Marvel has handled these things, from the way that Lucasfilm handled Indiana Jones. We know that they have brought in all of their big stars, and I'll just say it this way. There's at least $30 million in reshoots on this thing. So easily $30 million more on top of what was here. If they only went in for more reshoots a couple of times, I would not be surprised to see this budget balloon to over 300 million. So it needs to make what they thought Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was going to make in order to break even.
So let's make this as simple as we can, folks. Take a look at the top here. Period ended for 2021. Period ended September 30th, 2021. Cool beans. That means that this next year was measured from, guess what? October until September 30th of 2022. And we know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, from news reports, from press releases, from more stuff, that this film did not stop in September 30th of 2022. We know there were reshoots. We know they were significant. And we know that there is going to be a 2023 with next year's filing. And that means that all the media out there, including Forbes, they are reporting by correcting what was an erroneous report based off 1 year, and they're doing the same thing by erroneously reporting only on 2 years. The final number has yet to be seen. However, Jonas, as you said, 30 million likely on top of this, likely pushing us towards the 300 million mark, maybe even above. That's Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny money, and that is seemingly an insurmountable amount of money that they will have to recoup. I don't think it's going to do that, Jonas. So how much would the film have to actually make this this holiday season to make a profit, probably?
Well, let's also point out that would be if they did not market the film as well, which we haven't even factored in marketing, which marketing spend on movies has grown at an even higher rate than film budgets.
So let's be as nice as we can to Disney. We do this all the time, folks. We are as nice as we can be. Let's say that the marketing is at the very lowest end imaginable. Actually, I don't think this is even imaginable, but let's imagine it's $100 million. What does it have to make then, Jonas?
Well, then are we saying 372 or are we saying 330? We're taking it up to 300 million for the production?
We will be as nice to Disney as we can. Say 330.
Okay. So we're
430 is your total. 430 times 2 is
$860 million, which would mean that it has to make as much money as that sleeper hit, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So we're saying that a movie starring Brie Larson and Tiana Paris and Iman Vellani. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm sure I butchered a name there. No disrespect to 2/3 of those actresses. I just am not seeing a Chris Pratt film being a less profitable than a movie starring Brie Larson right now. So
I've got a feeling, Jonas, that like the Black Eyed Peas, but in the opposite direction, that it's not going to be a good time. It's not going to be a great night for Disney when the Marvels releases. You're exactly right. This needs to make, folks, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 money. It is not helmed by someone who is likely to do that. And there are going to be people out there in the same press that have already made these errors, fixing other errors. They're going to come out and they're going to say that, the first Captain Marvel did so well, Jonas, that clearly the Marvels will do just as well. And they're going to forget that the way that the MCU managed to force people to go watch the original Captain Marvel was that they said, well, essentially, I think they lied. They said that you had to see that to know what was going to happen in the big finale, the end game, where they were going to end the storylines of 10 years of story making. Folks went and saw that film and realized that was a bunch of bohunkus, was not true at all. And but that's what got it to the billion mark. Now I wonder, are fans going to have their comeuppance here? And will the press continue to have egg on their face? But we try our best, although we're not perfect, we're not infallible. We try not to have egg on our face. So grace given to all of these people reporting on this. Part of the success of what we do here is credited to Valiant Renegade on leading us to this place where we found out that, hey, people really love knowing about the finances, and they love to know about the finances of Hollywood that are truthful and honest and complete. And that's what we've tried to do here, folks, is show you they are measuring, and they are not yet to the finish line on measuring, but they're acting as if they are. It's the same exact mistake, just applied in a different way from both sides of the media. But we are here to give you the full truth as best we can. Jonas, we also want to give a big shout out. We've had 2 birthdays in our community. Speaking of Valiant Renegade, he is a birthday boy. So folks, make sure that you wish Valiant Renegade a birthday in the comments. And also, Coach of Echo Base Network had a birthday stream yesterday. A lot of fun, and hope that Coach is out there playing disc golf. It's one of his favorite hobbies. Hopefully he's got a Darth Vader disc he can throw and get an ace today.
Yeah,
Jonas, any final thoughts on it?
No, just on the subject of Coach and Valiant, they look great for 65 years old, and they were born just 12 hours apart from each other.
That's right. They're magnificent for 65.
Yes. In all seriousness, there's some really interesting coverage about the director's comments on Captain Marvel. The Marvels, and how in over her head she might have been with all this comic book lore. That's her admitting that herself.
That might be the reason for reshoots, eh?
Ooh, my. Well, does Marvel even care about their lore anymore? I don't know. So there's a lot to cover here on the Marvels coming up, and of course that grade A, absolutely perfect coverage from Valiant Renegade on this issue. You got to go check it out if you haven't seen it already.
Absolutely. And Jonas, you've been doing some grade A reporting over on That Park Place, the new YouTube channel, already over 3,000 subscribers, only about a week old. Maybe less. I'm not even sure at this point. It's doing fantastic, and I'm thrilled for you. I'm thrilled for everybody who's participating in it.
Thank you.
Of course, That Park Place is intended not only to bring all the news that is fun, but at the same time shine a spotlight on so many of these great content creators out there who deserve to be seen and known. And so we hope, folks, that you're subscribing to all of their magnificent content as well.
Yes, as the Muppets would say, starring everybody and me.
That's right. All right, folks. Well, this video has been starring everyone but you. You're the electricity that drives all of this. This is what we do this for, is to help you understand what's really going on with the media and entertainment. We think it matters. We believe that entertainment is highly correlated with culture. We think that what kids watch today is sort of acted out in the future generations, and we want to, at the very least, give you an accurate reporting of what's going on inside this industry. And at our very best, we want to nudge the world into a better direction, hopefully. If you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and when you click it, stick it to the algorithms. It's the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. We cover your comments. We care about what you think. We actually think your mind matters. So tell us what is on that mind of yours. And folks, give a little grace to those out there who are making mistakes. Remember, we are all experts in some areas, and we are all complete and utter idiots in others. That's just the way the world works, because there's too vast an array of different expertises out there, and none of us can be perfect in it all. And hopefully, if we give grace to others, grace will be given back. That's the assumption, that's the hope, that's the desire. Let's make a better world out there. The Pro Show is Thursdays, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Jonas, who's our guest for today?
Paul Chatto will be joining us on the Pro Show.
That's right. We're going to pick Paul's mind when it comes to comedy. The WGA SAG-AFTRA strikes. Big news coming out of there. You do not want to miss it. Not for a moment. And folks, as we always say as we wrap these up, we hope you can say it with us at this point. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, keep having fun.
This is Wilton the Troll reporting for That's Park Place, and I'm surrounded by loving and adoring people who are peacefully trying to make sure that poor kids aren't cold in the winter. And just behind me, you can see a totally natural bonfire for baking cookies or making marshmallows.
Yeah, so, Wilson, we really appreciate the effort and stuff, but we're looking for real and, accurate news reporting on That Park Place.
So not like most news outlets, huh?
No.